Hey, it's me, that black guy with a drone, weighing in on the Star Wars Last Jedi trailer. I've watched a lot of YouTube today and saw a lot of theories, some good, some bad. I just decided, I found something and I just felt I had to share it. Now, I know that many of you out there believe that Plagueis is not Snook and that there's a lot of evidence out there proving that Plagueis is not Snook or vice versa. But if you listen really closely to the audio of this trailer, you hear a reference to Plagueis. No joke. It comes right at that point where she's talking about Luke asked her, well, what do you see? And you hear Yoda saying, train you. And then right after Yoda says train you, you hear a voice that sounds eerily like Snook saying Plagueis. And then she says balance. And it would actually make perfect sense, because if Yoda is coming back as a Force ghost to train Rey, and this episode is going to be about finding the gray, the middle between light and darkness, who would be the opposite of Yoda in Star Wars 8? There's no one. It can't be Kylo Ren, because Kylo Ren just started his journey to the dark side. So he wouldn't be evil enough to counterbalance or offset Yoda's light. So it would have to be someone of the magnitude of Plagueis. And why not? Why not be Snook P. Plagueis? So anyway, I think, well, you know what? I'm just going to let you listen to the audio and let's see what you think.
A balance.
Did you hear that? I mean, right after Yoda says, train you, a voice comes in and says, Plagueis. I thought that's what I heard. So, you know what? I took this clip into Adobe Audition, tried to clear it up a little bit to see if that's actually what it was saying, Plagueis. This is what I got. Okay, let's try it again. I slowed it down even more, tried to clean it up even more in Adobe Audition. And this is what I heard.
A balance. A balance. A balance. A balance.
So I'm saying, based on what I heard, that Snook is Plagueis. I mean, can't get any clearer than that to me. So let's move on to the next thing I found. They did some really crafty editing with the trailer, and at the very end, everyone was like, I think I heard a lot of the reviews. It's like Luke Skywalker is saying that the Jedi should be no more, or the time has come to an end, whatever. I forgot how the last line goes. But if you really listen to it, that's not Luke's voice. So what they did, which is really sneaky, is that they made it seem like it was Luke speaking. But I think if you listen to it, as I listen to it, it's actually Snook's voice saying that it's time for the Jedi to end, and not Luke. Very sneaky, Disney.
It's time for the Jedi to end.
I'm telling you, that's not Luke's voice. If you compare that voice that you just heard say that with Luke's voice earlier in the trailer, it's not the same voice. Very sneaky. You don't believe me? Watch this. Listen to this comparison.
Just breathe. Now, reach out. What do you see? It's time for the Jedi to end.
Did those two voices sound alike? I don't think so. And it would make absolute sense that it would be Snook saying that, especially if he's Plagueis. That, since Palpatine and Vader tried to wipe out the Jedi, that now Plagueis is saying it is time for the Jedi to end. Listen to another clip, followed by what I believe is Snook or Plagueis speaking at the end of this trailer.
It's so much bigger. It's time for the Jedi to end. It's time Jedi. To end.
All right, that's it. That's my addition to the observations of this trailer. Of course, there's a lot more that I have, not just audio, but visual clues that I've seen that I think that they're doing a lot of misdirection, which is absolutely fantastic because that means it's just going to be a great movie. And I like the fact that they're playing with the audience and, really putting some stuff out there for people who are really astute and really are listening and watching and seeing what's going on. But you know what? There's a lot of people out there who have podcasts and shows on YouTube, and who have audio people who can actually go through there and probably analyze the audio better than I can. Because again, I was just doing that on Adobe Audition and Power Director, and that's how I was able to clean it up and what I was able to hear. But I couldn't imagine what would happen if you get somebody who actually knows what they're doing to clean that up and to finally maybe we'll put to rest that big clue that, hey, you know what? Plagueis is Snoke and Snoke is Plagueis. And also that Luke is not saying it's time for the Jedi to end. Anyway, so take a look at the trailer with all that stuff that I mentioned to you and see if you see the trailer differently now.
Light. Darkness. A balance.
It's so much bigger. I only know one truth.